class slot, so I'm synced with my skate feet.
Oh, okay, sweet. Sounds good. Okay, so Vale 2020 Land of the Free episode 6 is what we're doing with 6 characters too. Going forward, we'll probably have 6 characters. The next sessions that I posted are also 6. I think this game can handle it pretty well with just one move to trigger. There's pretty low overhead. So, we have 2 new characters, so I'll let you guys introduce them. Matthew, do you want to start?
Sure. My character's name is Trella. She is quite young, probably early 20s. She went to school for classical music, actually. I'm still trying to decide her instrument, but I think it was piano in the first place. And it was very like corporate. She comes from a very rich background, and she was sort of being groomed to be sort of like a corporate musician and play these like big ritzy family parties and stuff like that. And then while she was at school, her and a bunch of her fellow students started getting interested in sort of music from other cultures and music that was, just being played on the streets and stuff like that. And obviously they weren't allowed to listen to that. So they learned about it, kind of like had an underground study club and stuff and like jam sessions and all that. And then when they found out they were going to get basically booted from the school, so they stole a bunch of money and ran away and all that. So, and then, had these big sort of naive aspirations of becoming a punk. And, so that's fairly recent, I think. She's sort of probably being hunted down, or maybe she lost track of some of her friends and stuff like that. But basically, I think that her whole deal is that she has like a sampling rig, sort of. So she can reproduce like tons of different sounds and record them and manipulate them and stuff like that. So I think that's her main shtick. Isn't as much fighting and isn't as much hacking, but is more of the like tricky deception, manipulation kind of stuff. And I'm going to think a little bit more about the stuff that she has, but she is very cool. She has like a whole bunch of different wigs of a whole bunch of different colors because she had to cover up her hair, and she loves pink.
Pink is good.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Sinners. Have you read that book with Pat Cadigan?
No.
It's a like 1994 first wave-ish book of cyberpunk written by Pat Cadigan, who's like the only female writer for first wave. But in this particular book, there's people called sinners that are synthesizers. So basically what happens is they have, the typical neural plugs and stuff like that. But what happens is the bands that like the rock bands that suck and stuff like that, they plug into her. Her name's Gina in the book, but they call the people that do this sinners, and she becomes the synthesizer for them and makes them play not shitty in this like dream space. And that's also them recording the rock video as she's doing it. So she's doing like pre and post production on them, making them sound better and like making them just like all around good. So it was a really good book because it's clearly them doing emotional labor in a
yeah. I love how Lady Cyberpunk is always about like collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe, I love it. That sounds perfect.
Maybe you're a sinner. Anyway.
I think I am.
Yeah.
It must be with a Y, right?
Yeah, it's SYNNER in the book.
Cool.
And that's the name of the book too.
Thank you.
Michael, how about you?
Sure. I don't know if my character's as cool as Trella, but I am playing Autumn, and he is a cat burglar. But one interesting thing about him, he's an ace, and his item he's attuned to is actually his cat. He has a cat named Duchess, and I think that they both have some sort of implant in their bodies. He can basically operate the cat in a way through a wireless like radio connection or something. So basically he can like kind of go into like a trance and loses his own bodily function, but he can go and be the cat, and walk through the hallways and stuff like that. Kind of similar to how like in other cyberpunk fiction, people will operate their car and like become the car. He becomes his cat. I don't really have much more beyond that, but I think that's kind of what he does. That's his jam.
Sure. And so you guys can, like I was saying, you can stat out your characters as you go. It's usually wisest, I think. Otherwise, you might just end up swapping stuff anyway. And you can buy the things that you would like, starting at 3,800 XP, because $3,800 is what you start with, because you'll start at the same as the other characters, and they started with that because they got hired, and that was like their upfront pay. And the pay is definitely in service of subverting an institution of really, well, I guess you don't know them too well in the fiction, but they're really bad people. So I'm giving it to you. So that means that you also start out at level 2, because level 2 is 3,500 XP. So you can get an extra harm box or inflict +1 harm. So do you want to be a glass cannon or a squishy person, whatever you would like? Kira's like, what?
Oh, I have a very important question for Autumn. Does your cat have opposable thumbs?
Wow. Well, in the cyberpunk future, I think that they could. I think maybe she has little like cybernetic opposable thumbs, because I was thinking like, well, I guess like she like picks up jewelry with her mouth, maybe. But having hands would be very useful for a cat. So yeah, let's do that.
Heck yeah, I love it. Creepy monkey cat.
So does the cat have like normal paws and stuff, but they also have like prosthetic arm things that come out of them?
No, I think it's like, it looks like normal paws. You know, they have the 4 pads or whatever, but then they have like a chrome like.
So it's like they're wearing those socks that have all the toes.
Yeah, and then just the one little mobile thumb. Yeah. I like to think it's retractable. It's
How would that make it a monster? It would just have extra arms. You have extra arms, don't you?
No, I have 2 arms, 2 legs, like any normal citizen in the United States of America.
I could swear you had an extra arm or something.
No, that was in Hack the Planet.
Oh, okay.
The 3rd arm that I never used.
So I guess in that game you were a monster then. Okay.
Wow.
I feel like that kind of it's a little bit unfair for all the people who don't have 2 arms and 2 legs in America. Be called poor citizens.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They're not a monster. They have extra arms and are extra good at being cool cats.
Dang. Now you're saying that people with less arms and less legs are less cool?
I'm not saying that they're less cool.
I'm just
we've dug a hole here. Let's climb out.
I appreciate people of all numbers of arms, legs, and other limbs, tails, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure we all do. Okay, so if you guys are all statted out and you've purchased the things that you want, you're good to go. Any questions? Any things to follow up with your characters that would prevent us from jumping in the fiction?
I guess one thing I wanted to ask about, you know, I don't know if we covered like safety tools specifically or not yet, but like, I know that for a lot of people, like seeing abuse towards animals and harm to animals can be like a trigger or something that might be put behind a line. How would you want to deal with that with me having like a literal cat?
Yeah, that's a good thought. What are people's thoughts on that? I also have heard that many times when people are drawing lines and veils or other such things.
Animal companions have plot immunity, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't want to see on-screen damage coming to any animal. So maybe we'll just...
They can be trapped and other such things.
Trapped, yeah, sure.
There are ways.
Yeah. Also, especially since 2 new folks, do you guys have any particular lines and veils that you want to do other than that? We've already done previously established is any sexual stuff is put under we're like X-carded it preemptively. Is there any other stuff that you guys want off the table?
Just any like intense description of drowning. I'd like to avoid that.
Okay, well, we are on a boat, so that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen. I just don't want to, dwell on it for too long.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I think that we're going to be fine with that without giving anything away about what the module says will happen.
Flying boat?
Yeah. I don't think it's flying, but judging from what I've heard from character descriptions, we'll say nothing's off the table so far. So, cool. What we kind of faded to black on last time was that Cleary and Grace were plotting something, and the characters had, like, in the night overheard this stuff, and then were, like, drawn to the sounds, and then came to this room where they were speaking. And maybe instead of them being alone and talking, the new characters are already in on the plan and there, or you were there all along, whichever you find most compelling. But let me pull up the document here. So the last thing that had happened was that, and they had repelled these people that were basically trying to extort you. And you waited for the cover of darkness. These people, like, sped away. They're dealt with. That's all done. And Cleary and Grace are about to plan a mission. So who of the new people do you guys think that you're already, like, in on this mission and hired operatives by these people or something? For background, they are part of this sort of, like, anti-corporate, they're called the River Raiders. They're eco-terrorists, kind of. And what we saw when painting the scene previously, when they're going down the river, was these corporations are polluting this place quite a bit. And there's some natural land destruction, and there's some, like, the riverbeds even have concrete on some of the sides and stuff like that to deal with some of the stuff that's happening. And these people are an underground, not cyberpunk group, but something similar, like adjacent to it, that attack the corporations and try to, like, do something about the stuff that they're doing in this area. There's also nomads and other communities that live here that sort of have banded together to form this kind of impromptu group. And the mission that they'll be discussing with you guys is to, like, a similar thing, attack a corporation that's been doing some bad stuff around here. So knowing that, do you guys think that you were sort of, like, here all along, or maybe you were hired before or somehow got enrolled with these eco-terrorists now and are here on the boat planning with Cleary and Grace, and kind of are already, like, maybe outsider help hired or something like that, right? You don't have to be specific eco-terrorists, but maybe your cyberpunks hired by them in order to do this job, right?
So I think, like, I'm a, like, rah go get 'em right now. Like, I'm just really stoked on, like, finding a revolutionary cause to throw myself behind, because I've got all this punk attitude stored up and haven't actually been able to do anything. So I don't know if Sky or Bina would be well known at all in any kind of music scene, but, like, I'm very in tune with that sort of, and have been lately. I've just been immersing myself in that. So I could have either been, like, following you guys to, like, get in on your cool thing, or I would be happy also to just join up with this, cause, because I heard about their cool eco-terrorist thing too. But what do you guys think? What do y'all think?
Does Bina have a groupie?
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I think we got some really neat music stuff happening on the blimp, and then Sky and I had a cool jam together as well. So I think it totally makes sense that there's like some trail of musical destruction on like the word of mouth kind of like going along behind us as we move forward through this journey.
That sounds great. And I think I'm big fans of both of you.
Awesome. Well, we've got some cool tunes for you.
So I guess I just snuck up under the cover of night and like stowed away on the boat. And then I was like, oh, hey, I'm here now. I'm part of this crew. Hello. How are you doing?
Sure. They came from Nashville, I believe. So maybe Memphis. Yeah, sorry, Memphis, right? And wow, they caused a hubbubaloo there. That's for sure. Where they killed like a mechanical Elvis who was being like deified there. So that's the thing. So yeah, maybe you're just like a stowaway from that last stop or somewhere along the way or something like that, right?
I've been following them.
Cool. Also, can both of you guys go to the top right corner in my settings and change your display name to like everybody else's? Put your character name, pronouns, and then your real name after. So that way people can just glance down and check. Because unfortunately in Roll20 you can't look at the dice as well as your character sheet at the same time, so it's a lot easier just to look down at the main screen and see what y'all's characters' names are. Yeah. Cool. So what about Autumn, Michael? How do you envision them hooking up with this?
Yeah, I don't think that Autumn necessarily cares about the particular eco-terrorism ideology of this group, but I do think that he might be the sort of fellow that they would hire for a particular need, and he's happy to get paid for that.
Michael,
Sure.
if it would be fun for you, we could have been traveling together beforehand as well. I can see myself getting along with Duchess very well. But
Sure.
Totally up to you. Just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, I'd love that. So, but so you had an idea like where you like snuck onto the boat, but I was hired. Do you think you were hired too, or?
Oh yeah. I think maybe you were hired and I tagged along. It could have either been like I knew where they were and like used you to get onto the ship, sort of, or maybe I've been hyping them up a whole bunch to you and they didn't turn out to be whatever. Yeah, something like that. Sounds great.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
Sweet. Okay, that sounds good. Matt, do you want to change your character?
Yeah, sorry.
Cool. Okay, and then Kira, you're probably just there the whole time, right? Or
Yeah,
what?
totally.
Yeah. Cool.
I was hungover or something, like in the back of a truck, or I don't know.
Yeah. Last thing that I recall is, yeah, you guys were like in a truck that collided with something or something. So I feel that's legit. You just
Yeah, well, I think we ended up in a bar because I remember our last scene being in a bar or a diner or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then you were just somehow you became on autopilot. So you're here, but you just didn't interact very much.
I let
Cool.
the guitar guide me.
Right, exactly.
The guitar sometimes drives my consciousness. That makes sense.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys missed a little bit of the painting of the scene too. So if you guys have ideas about what you think life in swamp life is like, you feel free to hit me up with some details. I think some of the stuff that was previously mentioned was like, I think Darren, didn't you say there was like fluorescent algae below the like river surface or something?
No, I said that. No, I said that that it's like trash eating bacteria. They figured that out, so it eats all the garbage that gets dumped into the river. And then someone else said that there's holographic or just like somehow lighted advertisements underneath the water.
Right. Any other details that people remember?
Yeah.
Or want to add?
There were because like bees are on decline. So there's like cyber bees that are, like fly around and stuff and like collect all this pollen. But then the wildlife, like magpies and stuff who are into shiny things, have like appropriated some of these cyber bees, and like you can see these nests of twigs and stuff. But there's like shiny bits of cyberware in them where they've like made these cyber bees part of their nests.
Cool. Anything else that people want to add to the fiction? And the Mississippi swamps.
There's some gators down there for sure.
Cyber gators?
I don't know if they're cyber gators though. Maybe they're like too big. Maybe they got really big because the all of the, I don't know, contamination in the swamps or something like mutated their dinosaur bodies, and now they're 3 times the size of normal gators.
Still a better story than Godzilla. Sounds good. Anything else that people want to add?
I'll think on it.
Cool. Okay. So if we're ready then, so I guess nobody is in the room except Cleary and Grace, right? But you're all drawn to them speaking maybe a little bit louder than they should have. There's like a lantern hanging in there, and I describe the place as, because I have very few nautical reference points media wise, it looks like the cabin of Jaws. So it's pretty tight quarters. There's like a table there and sort of like the wraparound benches and stuff like that. And I imagine Cleary is getting like a little bit uppity and incensed as he's talking about this plan. And what you hear as you come in is they say like, our net runner's been taken out, and we only have like 3 solos left. We'll never be able to pull off this job. And we need to see if our new crew mates can help us out here, or this corporation's never going to fall. It's called... all these corporation names are... Armex Patterson, a chemical manufacturer in Vicksburg. They're basically they're saying how like times are rough, their team's getting like picked off. And previously you had not seen this, most of you, but Omen had negotiated a price per day to get to where you're going, which was I think 150, marked down from like 280, because Omen was flirtatious and just a wily one about it. And so Cleary, like the last thing that you overhear maybe before Cleary like turns his eyes to you, as maybe a floorboard creaks or something, is we could clear their debt if they did this for us, right? I'm not even sure that one called Omen has the money, to be honest. Is what they say. And then there's like a creaking floorboard. And I don't know. He sees somebody out there, especially if there's 6 people, I guess. Or maybe just a couple people.
Just all 6 heads around the corner.
I'm sure Iota is there because we have established that Iota has like super hearing with cybernetics, right? So Iota overheard the entire conversation from like in a bunk above them or whatever, right? Whatever the layout is. I actually have a layout of the ship if you want it, but those things tend to not be the most useful anyway. So yeah, so what do you guys all think? Basically, the nebulous proposition is wipe your debt away for doing this like extra little mission. And if you agree, he'll tell you what it is. It's one of those types of things. Or you can negotiate stakes and go to a roll or something to get more information before you agree. But who is it that Cleary sees when he turns his eye to the hallway, do we think?
Oh, I was gonna say that I'm like laid up on a hammock on the deck, having a cigarette.
I'm busy. Cool.
I'm busy. I don't eavesdrop.
Maybe Iota that?
Yeah, I'm fine with. I just don't want to. I feel like I had the spotlight a lot last session. I don't want to share, but it's cool if it's me. So yeah, I don't think he hears a floorboard creak. I think he hears the wheels of my skate feet like roll down the hallway.
Are you stress blading?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've only had these things for like 2 days, so I think I'm still just like trying them out. But I like skate up to the door and like pop my head through it. I was like, "You rang?"
Nice. I think they like jump out of their skin type thing, right? When you when you say that. And Cleary's like, "Arr, we were just talking about you. We have a proposal for you. Do you? I can't tell which one of you is the group member leader. If any of you are, should we talk about it now? It's Iota, right?
Yeah.
Yar.
I guess that could be me.
We're an anarcho commune. There is no leader among us. How dare you suggest such a thing? Gives a side eye to Iota.
I guess then Clary just sort of smiles and does the old man thing that, or at least what my parents always do, is they always say you have to roust. I don't know if other old people say that, but they're like roust, like to get up and and come do a thing and congregate and stuff. So he is like my parents in that way, and maybe others. And then I guess if everybody gathers, then he'll talk to everybody, especially since it's a commune. Nobody can speak for others. So anyone who, what's that? Matthew?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just going to say, I think I'm like eavesdropping on their eavesdropping and then conversation. So I'm like the first one around the corner, eyes wide, just like stoked to listen. I think like we've had the introduction, but like y'all still don't know me that well, probably. And it's probably annoying that this person is just like giving the game away a little bit. And I'm not very subtle. I'm just like all in on everything.
Oh, so you're going to like Frodo them. They'll agree to the fellowship and you'll be like, and I'll go too.
Yeah. If Iota didn't step in, I was going to just be like, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, nice.
We'll do this.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, you all kind of like infoed up you, and then you guys can decide where you're all at in the fiction then, because it sounds a little confusing. So what the agreement that he wants is to wipe out your debt for the few days, which at a player level, because we're not going to be playing this, I want to play the module kind of as written as possible, but if we did that, we would be on this river for a long ass time, and it's supposed to be like a 4-day journey where I roll like a whole bunch of encounters and stuff like that, but we're going to be abstracting the river trip to this instead. So it'll be, instead of 150 times 4, it would be free, and you do this job right for them, and they're targeting Armax Peterson, which is like, according to them anyway, have been curbing emissions into the river. They have like been spinning the usual PR stuff about it as like a positive thing in their company, yada, yada, yada. And so they have formulated a plan where a small group of people, if they had a net runner, because their net runner was taken out, so they can't possibly achieve this without one, a person could conceivably sort of infiltrate the compound, open the gates so that like a small boat or what are those little ones called that carry people like with they look like they're inflatable with like the little motors, you know?
Not like a skiff or something?
Yeah, maybe.
A boat?
But it has something with like a Z on
Like
it.
the flat boats that look like a raft? I can't remember what they're called. I'm sorry.
It could be a raft, yeah, maybe. With a motor, sure. It is a raft with a motor, yeah. But like they have these, I guess, the like silent raft things with the motors that you can get in on that are relatively quiet. And basically what would happen is a gate, there's 3 gates and only one can be opened at a time or whatever. So you'd be like infiltrating the compound while the netrunner is well, there's a lot of discussion about what this boat is in the chat. But basically the netrunner would be timing it so that y'all can open the appropriate gates to infiltrate it, plant explosives on the tanks that are doing this emission stuff, beat it, blow it up. Done, right? So that's their sort of master plan about this. And to do this, they have like the help of someone called Demeter. And I have a picture for you of Demeter, which kind of looks like they're posing for a model shot or something. Kind of weird. Just grab it. Demeter. Here you go. So that's her there. And
There's so much amazing hair on this page now.
Yeah,
the hair just keeps getting better.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I guess she's dangling her feet in the water and posing for this shot as she has conceived of this plot to destroy the corporations. It makes sense, I suppose. And technically, what you know about Demeter out of this picture, though, is she's a Missouri rocker girl who sings about the river and its history, has devoted herself to preserving the river's legacy, and is one of the leaders of the River Raiders, and in cahoots, of course, with Grace and Cleary by that way, who also belong to the River Raiders, and were concealing that fact from the party that like accosted you before, but you evaded, so we never really got into that. Had they boarded you and all that kind of stuff, then their allegiances would have been known and all of that kind of jazz. But in broad swaths, that's what they're proposing. So what do you all think about that? Maybe I'll just go in order asking you all, actually. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, if we never get to Night City, then Adriana never has to choose, and she can just be a punk forever.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the people who might not be abreast of the situation, Adriana was like a very kind of clear-cut lab girl who was kind of like not able to have a normal life because her father was, well, number one, cloned her and then put her in a lab and got her working. And so she hasn't had like a normal life. And throughout this whole adventure, the player characters, and especially Ayota and Bina, have been trying to like punk her up and get her to be free and sort of like make it so that later on it might be difficult for her to return to her dad, or at least be of open mind to, you know, decide one way or the other, where it's not like a clear-cut decision for her to return to the corporation or her father, who has done some very questionable things, etc. So, Darren, what are you thinking?
I don't really know what's going on, which is perfectly in character for Omen because I'm still smoking on the deck.
Oh, right. But at a player level.
I don't know what's going on. That's the bad confession I have to make. I don't know how, but I missed the main plot point.
Okay, so the main thrust of this is that you will not have to pay for your ride at all over the 4-day period, which it will take you to get to New Orleans, right?
Uh-huh.
If you pull off this mission with them, which targets and blows up a
And
corporation.
we don't know the mission yet because we haven't accepted it.
Yeah, but I've already kind of laid it out there for you so that at a player level you can make the decision, and then we do whatever is exciting for y'all. If it's not something that you're interested in, we just be like, no, we're paying. See you at the New Orleans, right?
Okay. Sorry, so what is it? What's the one?
Do you want to do the mission and get a free ride? Or
well, I've got the money.
Okay.
But we can do the mission. Please, I will abstain from voting.
Okay, Kira?
Mission, because I want to get to know what's her face, the swamp singer.
To beat her?
Yeah, we can get some hot samples like on our mission while we're doing the mission. The real agenda is to just get some good music samples.
Sweet. Yeah, she's it says here that she's a St. Louis rocker girl.
Cool.
So Lauren?
Yeah, great minds think alike. Definitely down to make friends with some more rocker people and get some sweet samples. And then also, I think this like Bina super enjoys fucking up corporations since she kind of resents them having been born from one. And I think she would do it for free. She's not a good negotiator.
Cool. Okay. Well, good. What about Matthew? What do you think?
I'm basically in the exact same place. I think Demeter is a little old school, little corny, but she could lay down a real good hook for my next beat. And I respect her spirit. I think she's got her own thing going on, and that's cool. And also, I'm so down to just do any punk stuff right now. I think the more that I get to know our clone friend, though, the more I will become attached to her cause. It just seems like something that she would identify with strongly, having parents that, put her in a very specific path and, restricted her in that way.
Sure. Okay. And, oh, I forgot to mention this. She's a clone of her sister who died in an accident as well. Mm-hmm. P.S.
Good to know.
That is fucked up.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and Michael?
Demolition is the ultimate form of robbery. Let's do it.
I have not heard that expression, but okay.
I just made it up.
Sounds good. It sounds plausible. I don't know. Sounds good. Okay, then we're at the hour. Why don't we take 10, come back at 15, and then jump into it? Does that sound good to everybody? Cool. Come back at 15.
Are you sipping on a Polar Pop?
What? What?
Never mind.
You heard him.
A polar pop?
You heard me. Don't make me say it again.
What is a polar pop?
And it's just, I don't know, actually. It's like a generic gas station convenience store cup.
Oh,
I think it's just a cup.
I never heard of that.
Surprisingly, we have no Polar Pops in Canada.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
No Target, no Polar Pops. What's wrong with you all?
It's just an iced tea.
Well, it's not a specific drink. It's just
Right. It's the cup. The special
yeah,
cup.
you can get anything in it.
Here they would be called big gulps, probably.
Oh yeah, we have those too. They're the same thing. Big gulp, Polar Pop.
Oh yeah, they're the same.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard. I think if anything, people would be like, are you having like a Slurpee instead of the size of the cup here?
What?
It's called a Slurpee, right?
I don't know what you're saying to me.
Slurpee.
the drink that you get in the cup, you know, where like they dispense the cold stuff that comes down.
The frozen stuff?
Yeah, that's Slurpee. It's called a
It's like a
Slurpee.
slushy.
Oh, I think I've heard that. No,
A slushy
I
or
know
a
what you're talking
Slurpee.
about.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the thing about Polar Pops, though, is you can get like a 64-ounce cup for $1. It's out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't like anything carbonated, so I don't have those.
Well, you can get whatever you want in it.
That they're all carbonated.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've looked at a soda fountain.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so everyone's in. We're gonna do this. The information that I've given you already about this plan will have been given to you by like Cleary, Grace, and Demeter as you guys are all talking. I think it would be clandestine and cool. I guess once you like agree, he like ports the ship to a specific location that maybe has, I know, maybe like you dock at this one thing and it just looks like more swampland and stuff like that, right? But he like moves his hand up to a tree and there's like a covering and he pulls it aside and it's like a makeshift camp for these people, right? Where Demeter is and where you meet her and the 3 solos she has with her. And that's when it is articulated to you that they don't have a net runner and everything hinges on the net runner. You have to have these gates open at the right times, but only one at a time, so the sensors don't link and all that kind of stuff. So it's all on the net runners. No big deal, Beta. You'll be fine. And yeah, so they're also whoever posted the picture of the combat rubber rating, that's what I was thinking of in my head. Yeah, like where they're like kind of SEAL teamy, like going up on the things. I guess it is just like an inflatable raft that's like black and goes, I guess. But you know, it's nice to have a picture. I'll put it in the YouTube comments so people are like, what is Fraser talking about? Cool. So I think that's the gist of it. Demeter tells you that, you know, she's taken a big risk exposing her camp to you all. And oh, maybe it's like a cute fire pit with like everyone sitting around it. And after everyone agrees and like needs to get the rest of their sleep and stuff like that, she starts like singing on her guitar, and that's where you guys get your sweet cuts, I guess. Do you like cut a little album out there before, just in case you all die, to be memorialized in the history of this region?
Definitely.
Yeah, we get a jam section going and we direct record everybody's instruments so we have like the full thing, can mix it up later, can, you know, chop it up.
Yeah, you just gotta get some audacity going on, you know. While you're doing the mission, you just have it going on in your chipset in your brain, right? Or just like cut, paste.
Making the soundtrack.
Yeah. That'd be fun too, because if it was like a TV show or whatever, in your mind you'd be doing that with your chipset and stuff, but the audience would be hearing what the final product was, right? Like whatever song it was that you guys had produced. So that's pretty cool. I like that visual a lot. And so it would be, what was the instrument that your character was again, Trella?
So she kind of has this like big mix rig, like keyboard deck sort of thing. Like she's got like drum pads, she's got like a keyboard that slides out and everything. Like she's ready to produce on the spot, and like lots of sample stuff. But I think she also has like this, like she has like bright silver tights and a black like tight skin tight coat. But I think all of them have like pads on them, so she's like playing drums, but like by like just playing on different parts of her body. So that's some of her cool gear.
Cool. And then so a guitar, right, from Sky going on. And then some, are you like mixing the thing then? What does yours look like, Bina? What is your contribution to this album?
Well, I feel like if Trella is amenable to it, like she and I have to coordinate and like jack into each other's instruments, because like she's there to amplify and like synthesize all of our noise, and I feel like Bina's dick is probably a good complement to that. So I feel like it's, yeah, that's the two of them working together while Trella's like patting herself down with these to get these sick beats in this music, with like Bina is sort of doing her dicks with her. Yeah, I think that's what it looks like.
Yes.
Along with Sky.
Beats by the Mississippi. Cool.
I think that Duchess is providing the bass line with like some purring. It's like...
Cool. Anyone else want in on the scene? Is this like a, what's that movie called? Captain Awesome, where like all of the kids are playing like different instruments? It's probably a deep
Even
cut.
the non-musical ones are just like smashing something.
Yeah, just like using the log that they're sitting on and hitting it.
We definitely want you in on the jam.
What
And
is
if it's-
what's her face?
Demeter?
Play? Yeah. Or is she
Like-
sing? Does she sing?
She sings and she has an acoustic guitar. She also
Oh.
has a cool level of 9, which means she's very good.
What? So do
Yeah.
we get like some old bluesy river song, but like cyberpunk?
Yeah. I don't know what that would sound like. Probably something out of like Stranger. Oh, what's it called? That 1999 cyberpunk movie that I really like. Strange Days.
Oh, Strange Days?
Strange Days, yes.
I was
Yeah,
imagining like Moby.
Moby is in that soundtrack.
Well, hey, Moby does all the blues tech, but with techno, you know.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
like probably something like, yeah, the Strange Days.
Yeah, that's a good touchstone. It does say she is an inspirational leader, so the music is also inspirational, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, her cool score is 10. I think that's
Whoa.
max. So she has maxed out her. So her intellect is 10 and her cool is 10. So she's equally cool as she is smart.
Guy, for once in their life, is humbled by another person's musical talents and presence, and is like rather well behaved and really into the jam.
Nice. Cool. And then I think we'll just like, we get the scene of the jam and all the people around the fire and all that stuff. And then we cut to the mission, right? Where you're all like decked out and presumably trying to be wearing the stealthy stuff. So I read more on this mission as well. And I think some of you might be sad because the overall mission that she at least puts forward is that she should lead her 3 solos on a diversion while you guys do the actual part of getting in through the opening the gates and getting to the tanks and blowing them up and all that stuff. But if people really wanted to have scenes with Demeter, maybe we could substitute Grace in for that, or Cleary or something. Arr.
No, that's okay. I think the campfire scene was the real musical theme I was thinking of. So yeah,
Cool.
that's
And we can-
fine. That's fine.
We can talk to her on comms, I guess, too, maybe. Do we have that?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone can have comms. It's the future. Cool. Okay, so let's see. I think the nice thing to cut to, I think, would be like the opening the first gate. And normally it says that like being the hacker would be at a specific location hacking this stuff, but I think with this cyberware thing, I'd rather just have you on the mission with them and be able to do your stuff rather than like, hello, I am in my cubicle now, pushing up on the gate, pushing down on the gate, that kind of thing. So why don't we get a shot of that? What does Bina look like when she's like infiltrating a facility? What does she dress like?
Ooh. Oh man, do we have like a specific like look we're going for versus like stealthiness? Like if we gotta...
I think it would be even funny if it was like haphazard, right? It's not like you guys planned for this, but at the same time, you are like professionals, right? Like you're all cyberpunks hired for a job, so I'm sure you would be like, yes, we know how to do the stealth.
Oh man, do I have? Hang on, let's check my skin stats. I think I took some cool like skin tats. I've chem. What is the functionality of chem skin again?
Chem skin? Look it up. Chem skin's color pattern changing skin tints.
Yeah, so I mean, like, she's probably wearing like a tank there or something, and then her skin is probably sort of chameleoning a bit into sort of the background, like not perfectly, but like enough for if you walked by and I saw her in your peripheral, like you might not catch her. And probably like I don't know, tight leather pants or something.
Nice. Yeah, you got to take on the corporation with the leather pants.
Yeah.
It's not really an option, right? It's either that or cargo pants because you need to have the pockets. So that's really the only things. Cool. So what does it look like for you to hack this place? What does it look like, and what do we see on screen?
Yeah. So the goal is kind of like to open up these doors in synchronous, so there's like nothing gets tripped and stuff, right?
So you're like on this raft that's like careening towards these gates, right? And your job is to like open and close them in such a way that you like go through. You're essentially doing like a platformer, right? Like gotta get the timing right.
Oh man, well then she is like for sure sweating because like if she has to do this with her decks and like the boat is in motion, then there's a lot of like she's feeling really tense because a lot of it is about precision, and like she often does her decks thing quite slowly, and I feel like there's a lot of, if like this door is a lock, there's a lot of like intricate tumblers kind of that she needs to click into place. So whenever they go over a bump, there's like that audience panic. It's like, oh my god, did it nudged and like fuck up the door kind of thing. So she's like, yeah, combating with the waves.
Yeah, that would be really annoying now that I think about it. Cool. Is anybody helping you in this scene, conceivably? Does anyone have any fictional positioning to do this?
I'm helping. I'm standing right next to you in my rad trench coat. That's actually like a chameleon trench coat. It's like the ridiculous vinyl Matrix trench coats, but instead of like black vinyl, it's like I don't know, changing colors to match the patterns and shadows. And I think how do I have to do like a mechanical thing to position, or just like describe how my stuff helps out?
Yeah, just describe how it helps out.
Okay, cool. Because I have my keytar and I can give you a boost on like the speed of your hacking, you know, if I plug my keytar in, give you some extra boost.
Yeah, like this particular lock responds really well to like pentatonic scales.
Yeah, I'm totally playing those.
Awesome. So that means that you get advantage when you roll this move.
Awesome.
And you're both entangled, though. So what are the stakes here? I mean, the obvious one is that like the alarm goes off type ding, right? But it is going up against like this huge corporation and stuff like that. So maybe there's some feedback on the line as well. Maybe like 1d4 of feedback. Nice. Against both of you because you're helping. You're all entangled in this. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Sounds good. Then roll with advantage.
I was trying to figure out how I feel. I feel like I'm not feeling that. I feel like a bit seasick. I feel like this is the thing that, yeah.
Like how you're like hindering yourself. I'm also sick.
Trying to like focus really hard on one point and then the boat's jumping. It's like, ugh, it's not a good situation. I think she's probably feeling a bit like frustrated or irritated because the boat keeps like jostling her. She's like trying to hack this thing. And it's like, oh my god, just let me do my thing, man. That's how she's feeling.
That's good.
Let me roll.
Wow, that's pretty good. You get a bonus effect.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So as you're careening towards these gates, it works perfectly, right, for you to get through them. What is the bonus effect, do you think?
Ooh,
Giant crocodiles come to our aid.
Yes.
Okay, something reasonable, maybe. So off in the distance, you know that your friends are doing a diversion right now too. Like maybe you're also seeing like the gunfire in the night type things, right? Like the whizzing sounds and the little poppings and off in the side as your friends sort of like fake assault this place.
Nice.
It's hyper. Instead of no, they're doing that already. So yeah, that's not. It doesn't need to be a bonus effect, but I just wanted to give you the full scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you can add a thing. I feel like Venus doing that with one hand on like one thingy of her dick. I feel like I don't know, can she oh
you could maybe like. What about the bonus effect is when you're leaving, you know the pattern very well, and you don't need to roll for it.
That's a good way. Yeah, I like it.
Cool. Yeah. So when you're leaving, you won't have like a scary bro.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, it's night. You hear the popping sounds of the gunfire. You're going through this like small channel, which is dumping the waste into the water, and you're like careening up it. The gates go up just in time. Of course, you did it perfectly, but for dramatic purposes, it has to be like last second, right? Like somebody's head is just like barely goes through or whatever. Like a beanie or whatever would have been hit. And yeah, you come to the there's 3 different tanks now. And the recommendation, although quite funny in this, is that you have scuba diving gear to plant these charges. Although you can do it with a single breath, but if you fail, you'll take damage every 1d6 seconds. So, yeah, anyway. I don't know. Yeah, so they have it. It specifically says Cleary only has 3 scuba suits. Other people must, do this breathing maneuver. Apparently, yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, so you slip out of the channel. Let's. Who do we want to have? Kind of lead you guys stealthily to the tanks so that the people don't notice you or something.
I could do that. Michael, you made a noise.
All I know
you guys
is
could both be.
I am not getting wet.
Okay, sounds good.
I will take a wetsuit. Also, I do have low light vision, so I can see in the dark, murky water. But you mean maneuvering the boat or swimming?
Yeah, so you would you're like through these gates, and then you sort of like sidle up your boat against these like the concrete structures that line around these 3 giant tanks. Like they're huge on the map anyway. I'll just slot it into the, maybe it'll give you a better idea if I just drop
map.
it in. Yeah, the map is hand drawn, so it is marginally useful. Okay, here we go. Here's the map. Oh, every time I drag it on, it is like the smallest size ever. It takes up 1 thing and I have to explode it.
Because you're in the object layer.
I don't know what that means.
It means it's if you have the grid on, so anything you throw in there sizes it to 1 grid space automatically.
Oh, okay. Well, do you even roll 20? I don't know. So, okay. So what you guys have done is you've come up here, this like channel, and now you've like kind of parked it right there. And then you see the tanks. Those are the tanks that you need to blow up. These are tanks. Those are buildings that you don't need to blow up. There's just 3 tanks. I don't know why they made the buildings look like tanks. Maybe, yeah.
And so now we just need to move up to where the tanks are to plant the charges.
Yeah, so see how like there's a tank here, a tank here, and a tank here. So that's what it's like. It's like you got to be like sneaky to get to each of these tanks, right? So you've like parked your boat here, I guess, because you can't go up. This building is like blocking you, but you have access through this place to get to each of these tanks. So you just need to like within the, it might be hard to see, but like where I'm pulsing, this like channel looking thing above and below is like the channel that you've infiltrated, and you can get to each of the tanks by like going in this water or going on the concrete that lines it. Does that make sense? So there's like a little pathway, think like a maintenance pathway, right? Where people like go along this channel and then they can get to them manually, or the actual water places. And these tanks fill up with this emission stuff and then is drained into these channels into the like river proper. And that's where everything's bad and they mess it up.
And are the risks being detected by being like seen by the buildings or heard making noise? And
yeah, so there's people like there's guards patrolling and stuff like that, but over tank farm perimeter here, that's where the diversion is being made. So you only have to deal with like a few people that are kind of like the skeleton crew patrolling this area. Did the map help, or did it just make it more confusing?
It helped a lot.
I have no idea what's going on.
I kind of do, I think.
Okay, so you infiltrated this channel where I'm pulsing, right? There's like, it looks like 2 lanes, kind of.
So we just have to sneak up to these tanks, basically.
Yeah, and you can do it by being underwater, scuba diving there, or you
in the
could
tunnel.
yes, or the little maintenance tunnel thing.
Can we do both?
Yeah, or you could do both, totally, especially for someone who doesn't want to get wet. Yes, you can split the party. Yes. So whomever wants the charges can house them, and it could be like two people to a tank or whatever you want to do, right?
So I would like to conceal one way, probably by using sound. So wherever that sounds most appropriate, then I want to be on that team.
You want to conceal?
Well, we need to be sneaky, right? That's the thing.
And you want to do it with sound?
Well, so my idea basically is recording the passive sounds around us, the flowing of water and all that stuff. And then when someone needs to like do something that would make noise, play it back, but like louder to kind of cover up that sound, sort of. So I'm like mixing the real life world.
Sneaky. Okay. So yeah, Trella is team dry, as we know.
Also, I'm not getting wet.
Yeah. If you're on that team, I guess. So Karen?
I was just gonna say it sounds like it's Trella and Autumn for Team Dry.
Sure. Okay. So do you guys want to make a roll for getting to, are you just going for like the farthest away tank then? Or
I think that makes sense because we can probably move a little bit quicker, so we should probably go for the farthest one.
And then someone doesn't have to submerge for as long.
yeah, it's supposed to be like the outflow is how you got in. But just for the sake of the map, why don't we say that you infiltrated here, right? Because then you can go right or left, and it's not all like confusing and shit.
Because we came in through those gates, right?
Through those gates.
Not the effluent pipe?
Oh, yeah, the gates. Oh, there you go, yes. Yeah, so you would be here, yes. Yeah. So you could go either direction. There you go. Correct.
So we want to get up on the concrete and then move to the furthest left, I guess, if that's the farthest away from us.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to do that one.
And then we can just surf out the effluent pipe or something real cool in 80s, maybe.
Or you could just come back to the boat and leave that way or whatever.
We'll see.
Don't ruin those fun.
Okay, yeah, however you want to do it. It's cool with me. Cool. Okay, so, and the way that you're doing this is, number one, you're being stealthy, and number two, you've recorded the ambient stuff, and if there's ever noise, and you're kind of like covering up the sound of you making the noise by giving the ambient noise more volume or whatever, right?
Yeah, basically. Or like recording other natural sounds and then playing them right when someone does something, like that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, so why don't we just make the stakes of the roll pretty small and say that if you fail, then that does not work and they find you.
That sounds good to me. And
if you're helping each other be the stealthy, which it sounds like, then you take advantage on the roll.
Nice.
And it sounds like you're the one who's going to be rolling because you're kind of like primarily facilitating it with your audio skillage.
I mean, that depends if like I'm the one sort of supporting Autumn doing the actual stealthy business.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's true. So
what do you think, Autumn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll be the one like running, padding forward. Or I mean, how big are these charges? Like, could a cat carry them?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay, then I think it's gonna be Duchess on the move with like a charge like around her neck that like on a string or something. Not like yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so how do you feel about this maneuver you were doing at the Mo?
Well, what am I feeling? This feels like a cool like action movie scene. So I'm thinking maybe like powerful, like we have the element of surprise and like, we have two teams, we're really killing this mission so far. So I'm thinking powerful.
Sounds great. Yeah. It makes sense that you guys would be feeling great about this.
So I just click roll dice and powerful, right?
Yep. And it should ask you also if you have advantage, and then you would say yes or advantage or whatever the answer to that is.
Is that how my help manifests?
Yes. Yeah. So
I
which
guess
means
also, I mean, am I using my jam here and my item? I don't know how that plays into it too, but
so when you have that, it just means that you get fictional positioning and you wouldn't have disadvantage on the roll if you're doing the thing that you're like meant to be doing on it type thing. And so, and then because you got help as well, you got advantage with it. So 3d6 and take the highest instead of disadvantage for doing something that you're not perhaps skilled at.
good deal.
Cool. So a mixed success. Interesting. I think I'll just complicate someone else's life.
I was like, don't get me wet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would not be so cruel. So I think you navigate and you do this, but I don't want to step on your toes and say that like you were like less good at projecting this cool audio thing, but maybe there's some like reverb or something like that that just makes it for like an instant, like a guard kind of like think that it's coming. You've cleared it so that they know that or think that where it's coming from is not you, and they go a different direction, which happens to be the other team that's navigating. Does that sound
Maybe one
okay?
of them we see has like a cybernetic ear implant and detects like a frequency anomaly or something, like, you know, but doesn't know exactly where. So then they're just like, yeah, walk off.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. So there's a if this was like Metal Gear Solid, we get the like alert, right? Like exclamation point. Cool. So let's cut to a different team. Is there a team water, I guess? If this is team dry, is there a team wet? Or whatever you would like to call yourselves. Alternatively.
I suppose that I could conceive of myself being on Team Moist.
Cool. Who else is on Team Moist, do we think?
I can also be on Team Moist. I do have an independent air supply, so I don't need no scuba suit.
Wow. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice. Oh, and that's good too, because I guess there's only 3, right? So you would need that anyway. Nice. That is cool. All right. So you'll just be infiltrating and avoiding notice because, you know, hopefully people are not scanning the water or looking at it if they have cybernetic eyes and such, which they have helpfully statted out for me, so I know and you do not. Yeah. So who is leading this action and who is helping? What do we see on screen?
I mean, I think you see Omen stumbling a bit, trying to get those stupid flippers on. And then I think this is the time when Omen has to take his hair out of the like weird little bob he's got because the like mask won't go on, right? So there's a little struggle with that, and he's like wincing but trying very hard not to show that he's in pain.
So you're helping Iota?
Probably.
Sounds good. And so how would you be helping navigate this?
Oh yeah, okay. So let's see. Iota has their business together. Maybe I am you know what? I think we're two confident boosters. Maybe we're splitting up and we're gonna maybe I'm not helping. Maybe we're just doing it and we're gonna plant the bombs extra strategically.
Okay.
So I don't know how it would help.
Well, is it more interesting for you to plant the bomb or go after this person who's been like alerted or whatever?
Oh, are they like going after? Are they like investigating?
Yeah, the part of the mixed success was that this cybernetic implanted guard was like on the alert status here and trolling for y'all.
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather have a tussle.
Cool. So how is it that you take out this person?
Okay, paint me like a real simple scene. Are they like on a grate or something, on like a catwalk or whatever we're doing in this farm?
Yeah, so there's like the small concrete outcropping things on either side, and they're just like moving through it. I think they have like blue garb on with like a little cap, right? They have like a cybernetic eye that's like oscillating and moving in and out and stuff like that. And I guess they also have a cybernetic ear, right? Because they heard this thing and now are like searching for the source of it and trying to like triangulate the noise and analyzing it and stuff like that. So
It'd be like a really cool spacer.
What? A spacer?
Yeah, like a really, one of these. It's like the ear implant.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot. Sure. So there's this guard who's gotten more attractive all of a sudden. They have a spacer. Yeah. So how is it that you try to take out this guard?
Okay, so I had to do like a real quick costume change retconning that because so usually Omen is just in like whatever bro cut bro side shirt he's got, but this, when he's being stealthy, he has a black one, and he pulls his sweatpants are usually pulled up and they're pulled down, and I think he's got like some dumb little like Nike weird Tabi boot thingies on that they are doing now, not specifically Nike, but yeah, sneakers. They're very stealthy sneakers because in the future they can make them so they don't squeak. Very important.
Finally.
Yeah, I know. And he's got like a black face mask on, and that's it. That's stealth for Omen. And probably like his sense skin is putting like a little black like robber eye band on. That's the only change. All the rest of his skin is normal. Cool. So anyway,
you have like the Pris painted on stuff like around the eyes, or yeah, cool.
Well, so it's not painted on; it's just my sense skin.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my head, it looks like Pris anyway.
Okay, yeah. So I think that we're on a boat that's presumably beneath this guy. I think there's just going to be a series of some Naruto-ass parkouring going on, to where I like leap up to where this guard is at, and I think that I think it's like a big spy movie show off thing where I like jump up and I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and try to like punch him into the water.
Into the water. Okay. Yeah. As long as he doesn't drown. Cool. All right, so how are you feeling doing this Naruto bullshit?
Let me pull up my feeling wheel.
And I think the stakes are he's enhanced. He's got enhanced ears. He's got enhanced eyes. Maybe he sees you come and knocks off a couple of shots, right?
But does he have wired reflexes?
No.
You can try shooting at me, but I got wired reflexes and a reinforced arm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what do you want the stakes to be then, if not harm? Oh, maybe he sends out a perimeter alarm before he takes off, like gets messed up by you, right?
Yes.
Like, oh no, and then dead.
Yeah.
Through the network, obviously. Not well, maybe he might Wilhelm scream as well, but
both. Why not both?
Yeah.
Let's see, how am I feeling? I guess I'm feeling responsive, right? Because I saw this guard like perk up, do a little prairie dog like search look.
Yes.
I'm trying to be helpful. Yeah, I'm gonna go with responsive, which is peaceful.
Cool.
Oh man. All right. Okay. All right. Roll.
Mixed success. Cool. So tell me how you take him out, but also the alert goes off.
It
won't be to everybody. because you didn't fail, but I think a little instead of it going out through the network, he lets out a little Wilhelm scream, right? And there's a splash or whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like some Chinese cinema bullshit where I like trip him, and as his body's halfway in the air, I just punch him.
Cool.
And then he
Blue. Nice. Okay. Cool. And we see him like knocked out and floating upright, Matthew, as he goes down the river.
He probably all the guards, their suits have like inflatable vests that inflate when they hit the water. So yeah, he's totally fine.
Yeah, that's great. That's so good.
I definitely sampled that scream.
Oh, nice.
I'll cut that up later.
That's not weird. Cool. So team, whatever you would like to be called, what is the next team's doing?
Wait, Iota didn't get to do anything though.
Yeah, because they split up.
Oh.
So maybe Iota's with somebody else, or Iota could be alone. It's up to y'all.
Iota, do you want to be on our team? I'm just assuming Bina and Skylar are on the same team.
Yeah, always.
Well, we still have to have 3 teams because there's 3 tanks for us to take out.
Oh,
So-
you didn't. Oh, okay, so you would have to do the action on that tank over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
maybe
I'm fine with.
you should probably do that first. Well, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not in charge here. That's
That's good. Okay, so yeah, how are you planning on getting there, Iota? And what is your team name, most importantly?
Team Free Skate. I'm not actually doing any skating though. I am just swimming. And I think Iota like strips down a little bit to like a sports bra / binder kind of situation, and like some briefs, but they're made out of like a thick sort of spandexy material, and just dives in the water. And I think to like continue off of the stuff we established last session, that they grew up in this area and are familiar with the river. I think they're very at home, like swimming in the water. But yeah, I think I'm probably just trying to swim all sneaky, like keeping eyes and ears out for movement of guards.
Yeah, what does it look like too? With like what does the audience see to that so that they know that you have like a rebreather guild type situation going on?
Yeah, why not just fucking gills? I think they do like there's like a slight sort of mechanical noise as they open up. I think they're just on one side of their neck. And I think just because there is like a slight lighting element to it. Like I think they glow maybe like a yellow very faintly.
Awesome. That is cool. Cool. So yeah. Yeah, I think stakes will just be the same as everybody else, just increased alert level.
All right.
Maybe I should just make a fucking clock.
Why not? Don't think I can spend any of my booster slots on this.
No? Oh yeah, because it's mostly around melee combat, isn't it?
Mostly, yeah.
Right.
Like, if we need to get out of here quick, I can use it for that, but not for this part, which is fine. And I think I am feeling peaceful.
Yeah, because do we get any like flashbacks to poor Iota as a child goodness or what?
Yeah, I think there's like a quick flash of like they're like floating on their back in some sort of body of water and like open their eyes on a sunny day, and there's like some birds or some pastoral bullshit like that fly past. Yeah.
And then suddenly it's back into the oppressive omni complex. Cool. Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you haven't rolled yet, right?
I haven't rolled yet. It's gonna be good.
It was already so good. We don't even need to roll dice.
Cool. So a mixed result. So you get there. Do you do the water world thing too, where you're just like whoosh, 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 and like jump out of the water ready onto the like surrounding grating of the tank and stuff like that?
I think I'm probably trying to stay in the water.
Oh, okay. So you're going to plant it under there too and everything. Okay, cool. Ooh, I know. So I think what happens is you plant, the thing on the tank, and then like sort of like Mission Impossible style, it like detects the temperature variance and stuff like that, and it like sends out a little alert to all of the people. But I think either Bina or Sky probably are like tapped into the network and see this like alert coming or something, right? So maybe as you're making your way to this thing, you can like deal with this as well. I don't know. Does somebody want to be navigating towards the tank and the other person deal with this alert that went out?
Yeah, I'll navigate. Because
Cool.
Bina's obviously the better hacker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drive and play some guitar music because we've been busted.
Well, maybe not quite yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah, it depends if Beta can take out this alert.
Stop it. It isn't my guitar that makes you a great hacker. It's your own skills.
Yeah.
You're amazing. I'll play some. I'll do the same thing that Matthew's character did because you're a better musician, cyberpunk than me, and reverberate the noise with my music. You have really cool music ideas this session.
Cool. So are you guys like? Are you both connected to the same SoundCloud? So like, as the scream comes in, you're like, oh, I could use a scream now too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think I can use the screen yet.
Yeah, don't use that yet, maybe. What is the name of the SoundCloud account?
I don't know. Matthew, what do you think it is? Swamp Sounds? Tank Babies?
Those are both great. I like Swamp Song because it sounds like Swan Song. So it's like kind of fun.
Yeah, cool. Like this could be our last mission. Let's get the best sounds we can.
And as previously established, when the action isn't happening, y'all are like mixing and editing the tracks that you got in the previous night, right? Like around the fire and stuff, compiling this soundtrack.
Yeah, I have a bot that does that for me.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So how is it that you are being sneaky to get to the tank? Oh yeah, you just said. Okay, cool.
Yeah, unless Bina wanted to add something to all of that, I guess. I don't know how sneaky we have to be.
Well, Bina's gonna be dealing with the thing, right?
Oh, okay, it's just me. Okay.
But I can help if you want.
Well, will you be able to help? You're like clearing you're dealing with the alert, right?
I'm multi. I can do things at once. No, I'm kidding.
Can I help if we're pulling from the same SoundCloud and we're on comms or whatever, and like she's like doing it in real time and I'm just helping like tweak the sounds so they're I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Do I have to roll for this? Is this a roll?
Yeah, so this is a roll. So how are you feeling? And then you'll get advantage.
Sorry, I did not realize that.
No problem. And this is just to get to the tank and plant the thing safely and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm feeling... Actually, I think I'm feeling pretty zen, so I'm going to go with peaceful. So I'll put... Oh, wait. No, that's not... No!
What?
I hit the wrong thing. Okay. Sorry. And then I'm just normal, or...
You have advantage because Trella is helping, right?
Oh, right. Cool.
Go team.
No other modifiers.
11.
Do
That's
it.
very good. Cool.
Did
So
it
you
turn out
did the
good?
thing. So,
It's an 11.
do you want to give me the scene? How is it that you fool these foolish patrolling people?
Oh, well, I mean, we basically used all of our new clips. We got like really in sync with all the music, and we were on like the same vibration as the security team. And that like was transmitted, like it was kind of by accident, subconsciously through Venus hacking devices to totally throw them off. So it sounded like something was coming from the other side.
I like that. From like an audience perspective, it would be funny if like all of the deception scenes, because of the music playing in the background, is also synced with the guards' movements, right? So it kind of becomes like a music video, right?
Yeah.
Where like every time they take a step, there's like a beat that drops or something. And yeah, that's just
like all the little things they did in Baby Driver, but like more than that, where like every like motion is like in time with the rhythmic component of the song that's playing and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just like choreograph the whole thing.
And then when the song is over, we like, just like hits a button and the music goes off. Like she was playing the music all along.
Oh, nice. I love this. This is fun.
Yes.
This is cool. So, Bina, yeah. What does it feel like and what does it look like when this alert comes through your systems on your DJ stuff?
Ooh. I think Bina's still feeling quite nervous because I don't think she can swim. I don't think that's a skill that she has. And I think it probably comes through like on her Audacity display on her like Veil goggles, like when sound is like clipping. So, but it's like clipping at a very consistent rate. Like there's a consistent like alarm kind of like going off that's being sort of like broadcast around. And
So is it the same thing then? Are you just like getting in on this jam where like you're co-opting this sound into like a beat for the music for visually what like, or that's what the audience would see, but like what you're doing is just co-opting the alarm sounds into something else?
yeah, and I think she's probably even like manipulating them a bit and like sort of like toning them down and be like cutting them out like as they come in, kind of thing, just to like erase them from the jam that's happening.
Cool. I like
It's
it.
really good at Audacity.
And how yeah, it's a good program. So how do you feel doing this?
Good question. Let's pull up the feeling wheel. I think she's I think since this is like music related, she's probably feeling like pretty creative as she's jamming out with all of her friends using these very natural sounds, which is like a nice irony against like this corp that's like fucking over the environment, right? So this feels really subversive, even though it's very like natural and organic.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So then the stakes, I guess, would just be that the alarm manages to get like a few syllables out, right?
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah. Cool, 7.
Ooh, I got a
So
7.
mixed result. So, I had a thought, but it's really mean. I don't know if I want that to be it. Okay, so you succeed, right? So you take out the audio, but there's a cost, a complication, something like that. Oh, I know. Yeah. So I think wherever you are, I guess we didn't exactly explain who was going to what tank, but I think you guys can see the you're closer to the action with like the firefight that's drawing their attention and stuff like that. And I think that you can see this alarm gets like heard by you, no problem. But the patrollers are naturally like being not hurted, but like the sounds of the shots and stuff like that is naturally where they're gonna get pulled. And maybe you even hear if you're tapped it, maybe the guy that's like floating by you knocked out, you could hear his like comms or whatever, and it's like, we need reinforcements at the front gate or whatever, and you look over and these like two patrolling guards are like running to reinforce them, and you can tell that they're gonna like flank your friend Demeter and the other people. Bum, bum, bum. And then that's when we cut to Team Dry. So you guys have got to the tank. I'm not going to make you roll to put the thing on the tank because you've already stealthily arrived and stuff like that. But maybe, so the bomb is planted, and that's when you, maybe Bina, that's when you communicate to them. They're like, those guys are going to get taken out. We can't blow the tanks yet, right? Because then everybody would die.
And our coolest member will be gone.
Yeah, Demeter. She's in the blast radius still and about to get attacked from the behind. They came from behind.
I think there's a weird moment, Trello, where like the cat is like looking up at you, but like my voice is coming in through the comms, and I'm just like, how long do you think we'll have to wait?
Wait for what? We got to do something.
Just like start licking my paw or whatever, you know.
And I'm just like looking back and forth between you and the cat, like I don't know who to address.
I think I'm like unconscious in the boat with
right, okay.
with team.
So
Team Moist.
Are you cleaning yourself?
Oh, do you want to give the scene actually about planting the bomb? Because maybe you had something cool lined up with the cat having it, wearing it and stuff.
I mean, I think it was just a matter of like, you know, like sneaking past a guard. We can just montage it, and then like you see like the little mechanical like metal thumbs pop out of the paws and like come and place it in a really uncomfortable way. It's like a little bit uncanny valley, I think, you know, like oh.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. And then we cut back to like you in the boat.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, so what do you guys do? Are you gonna help out your friendlies or what? You could try to get at the patrolling people before they lead this behind attack thing. I'm like,
yeah, it'd be cool to do some action stuff if we can get there quick enough.
Yeah, we'll say like they're mobilizing like around you guys, right? Especially you if you're keyed into the sounds of everything that's happening behind you. Hear like the footsteps. They come out of like maybe one of the buildings like here or something like that to try to mobilize and get to the people being attacked, right?
And sorry, where are they being attacked? I thought they were by the perimeter, and that's where the distraction was going down.
Yeah. Well, they just emerged from somewhere close by. That's why I hate maps. I just like to abstract.
Right.
Really.
So those are those are the patrols, but they're heading to the perimeter to
take out your
them.
friends. Yeah.
To
help take out your friends.
Well, yeah, we can just start like running over. We're on concrete walkway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder if like
these two people are running along the sides, right? What do you do?
So I don't. Autumn, how do you fight? Do you do that kind of thing?
I think that it's a little bit more difficult to go combat with the cat, but I think I could do cool things like stealing. Like I could like pickpocket the clip out of their gun or something, you know, or like tie their shoelaces. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be cool for us to deter them, and then if the other team, Team Moist is on the water, I guess.
So you're gonna like draw their attention, and then the other team is gonna take them out.
That'd be cool because I could like do some scrambling signals in their like earpieces or whatever, and like disorient them or something, and you could just like mess with them.
Yeah, I like that. Cool. Yeah, that nicely sets up the boosters, I think, to mess them up.
Boost on them.
Yeah. Cool. So you're overriding your things. What about Autumn?
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be cool. So like I'm probably able to like sneak up a little bit close to see them like more in detail. Like, what sort of like equipment are they carrying? Do they have anything specialized or anything I could sabotage?
Sure. Like I think they have a bunch of cyberized stuff. They probably got like the clip, or like the belt with like a whole bunch of different. What was it? They're called auto pistols, basically, where they can like select the round and then shoot at them and stuff. They have a
Cool.
medium round of that, and then like a bunch of other gear on their belt.
I think I can go try to go up and like scratch at their belts to like make them like fall off into
Cool.
the water.
I like that. Awesome.
Shing.
So who wants to be the one doing the action, or do you both want to be doing a roll? But then we'd have to set stakes for both. So you can either both do a roll separately for each action and set stakes for each, or one of you could be helping the other and abstract it into an advantage roll mechanically, whichever one you would like.
It feels like I'm probably setting up my goal or setting up
slash it.
Autumn.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they're all like, and then Autumn's like, yeah. Cool. So how are you feeling about this, Autumn?
Okay. What is the feeling for like feeling snarky? I guess that would be joyful.
Yeah, joyful or powerful, something like that.
I
don't know
joyful.
if you'd be mad because it's like something you're really good at, right? Like, are you mad at the people when you're messing up their day?
No, I just
snarky.
Well, I'm feeling like a little tricky here. Like I'm really getting over on them. This is kind of humorous, right?
Yeah, you're clever girl about gifting them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
So 7 is 8.
All those mixed results today.
Could I say what I do exactly?
Totally. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think I somehow like tap into their earpieces and I like play just like a really loud like chord, but it's like at these weird frequencies that it's really dissonant. And I think I like, because I went to school for this shit, I know how to like do it so that it affects like different parts of their brain or something. So I can like when that noise happens, like a jerk reaction in their body or something like that. So it's like literally like a visceral thing that it like somehow messes with your brain and like, one of their muscles contract or something. I don't know. Dang. Something like that.
I got messed up.
Sounds real scary.
Yeah. Cool.
Music attack.
Yeah. And then so 2 more bodies hit the water, right? And inflate and start. Bye-bye. Cool. So I think the complication though is that one of the gates, maybe the one furthest or something. I think each of the exits around this place, including gate like 3, I guess it would be, and the fluent pipe and stuff like that, are like cut off as the last thing that this guy manages to do through his cybernetic is like do the shutdown procedure or whatever. But there's still a little bit of time, and boosters are particularly good at dealing with situations like this, are they not? I know that they have a particular move for it, so I think they are.
So we're boosting the rest of the backup squad?
Yeah, so you could prevent maybe this thing, because I think you have something about like exfiltrating really fast or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could get to the gate before it's closed, or however you envision getting everybody out. You could get there in time to make that happen.
Well, I've just been imagining in my own little world that Omen has been involved in just a large melee, and there's just been like a lot of bodies falling into the water and like their flotation tests triggering. So I wonder if to handle all this, I don't know what, but like space or positioning of anything is here, but if Iota's into it, maybe I just want to like leap down onto these like bodies that are floating, and then maybe I like help pull Iota out of the water, and then there's this great scene where we're just like hopping from body to body to get to these gates.
Hey, we're an anime now. Sounds good.
I've always been an anime.
Okay. Iota, are you down for that, or do you have a different thing in mind for your exfiltration, getting to this thing and dealing with it?
So I definitely accept the hand up out of the water, but I was kind of hoping to skate along these like little walkways.
Yeah, I'll boost you up there.
All right,
NBD.
nice.
And then wait, that scene is really good too because it's you fucking skating and me running along, these bodies floating on the water.
Well, do we want this scene to be then you guys blowing the tanks and sort of like riding the wave out of here or something, or what? Where are we going?
No, I wanna run along the bodies.
Okay.
I was thinking it would be like skate along these walkways to get to where the engagement is happening.
Oh, so to like help out the people, on the perimeter to make sure Demeter and the 3 solos are doing okay. Cool. Okay, I like that. So you're going the route that the guards would have taken to get to the perimeter, right? And then so Omen, are you going out the other way to like you're continuing on to the gate to make sure it doesn't close type deal? Jumping along bodies inflated in the river?
Yeah,
or not the river, but the system.
Yeah, whatever, the tank farm. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Jumping along. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'll get you to do yours first. I guess you're getting to the gate.
Okay. Is there like a physical thing that I can like interact with and override the stuff or something like that? Or like to keep Bina hooked in probably?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is
okay.
You can describe to me. I think you jump along the bodies just fine. But how is it that you stop the gate from falling? It can be whatever you like.
There's probably there's 3 gates, correct?
Yes.
So I think at gate 3 there's a small office. And inside I think there's just like a poor part-time worker who's like hunkered down because they didn't sign up for eco-terrorism. So I probably, you see me like, bouncing along these flotation vests, and then I pop up and you see me like dart into the building, and then that guy gets thrown out carefully.
Does it inflate as well? Does he have an inflatable?
No, I just throw him out onto the ground. I'm not throwing him into the water. He's just a part-time worker. And then I think inside, there's like a computer, and you just see Omen standing in front of it. And then I think he punches it.
Oh, okay, that's one way to do it. Cool. So what do we want the stakes to be here? Maybe it damages you, right? Like some blowback from punching an electronic device. Are you punching it with your armored hand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So maybe you get some ice or something, right? Like some cool kind of electronic virus thing that damages your hand.
Yeah, that's really good. Because Omen wouldn't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've thought about this in the future. Everyone just punches our consoles, you get a virus.
How can we hack Omen's arm? Just get him to punch it. Okay, what am I doing?
And then it starts punching you. No, just kidding. Stop punching yourself, virus.
How am I feeling? Okay, wait. The gate's coming down. I had to leap across some bodies, floating safely. Oh, I'm scared because I don't know how to use a computer.
There's Zoolandering it. The files are inside the computer.
Inside.
Cool.
Okay, wait.
Remember, if you fail or mixed result, you're gonna get arms zapped.
I'm interested in that.
Oh, 9. Good. Good. I'm glad you're interested. So I think I won't put harm on the table, but I think the virus like goes into your arm so that like later this corporation might be like tracking you or something like that, right? Because everyone's always trying to get at you guys because you've got the 10.
Wait a minute. Can I suggest something?
Sure. Sure.
I don't know how this would work. But I just really like this idea. Maybe there's like the virus is a very smart virus. It's a clever girl virus. So I have like a rudimentary AI stalking my arm now.
Oh, I like that a lot. Sure. Okay.
Good.
So what does it look like visually? Is it some CGI bullshit when you like hit the computer console and then it like zooms in and it's like no, like Spider-Man gene stuff happening?
I'm sorry, I just saw Cursed Sword in Cyberpunk and I just got totally taken up. But so I think that it's this whole Zoolander moment, and then Omen. I think the anime bullshit is that the synth skin on the arm turns the like fist black or something. And it has like a real cheesy name. Like in the comic version, it would have like a I don't know what we call it. But and then it just punches it. And I think it's like weirdly not destructive. It's like super pinpointed. But then I think you see the synth skin. Oh, Frostbite's good. Synth skin like messes up. So like the color changes or whatever, and then it's like little tracer lines or whatever, as if it was going up veins. You see the infection spread that way.
Whoa, you have the techno-organic virus.
The what?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Everything is fine. It's all good. And then we cut to Iota. Iota, cool. So I think they're total, your pals, there's 4 people assaulting this place, including your friend. Defending it, I think there's maybe like 6 people, like 6 or 7 people repelling the attack. And it's all like very confusing because you can tell that your friends are like mostly shooting to suppress their fire, not like specifically aiming to try to kill them or anything like that. So their backs are turned to you. Are you trying to like mess them all up, save them all, as you're careening down this pathway with your cool robotic rollerblades or cybernetic rollerblades?
So I don't think Iota wants anyone to die.
Cool.
It's probably going to be a pretty big explosion.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, if you knock them in the river, they'll just float away at least. Apparently that is canon and established.
So this, I'm wondering if there can be, I don't know. I'm envisioning like somehow like a lot of this action actually taking place off screen, but like Iota finds like some like work cart or something that's like you can drive it, like one of those like carts that people drive around the airport, and it's just cart? Like yeah, kind of yeah, but like with more of like an open bed in back, and it's just like if we were to cut past the action, it would just be like Iota would be driving out with like the people that were doing the diversion thing, and then just like a pile of unconscious guards.
Okay, so you want to save the guards?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're taking them out on this like wheelbarrow thing, or not a wheelbarrow, but
yeah, it's like
it's
a cart.
A cart with and you're putting them all in the bed and then just like careening out of here.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I think that the role will be making them all unconscious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any moves that you would like to do?
So I feel like there are a number that could be relevant. There's the take on a group larger and or better armed than you without incurring disadvantage on the roll.
Yeah, and as a booster, I think you can take these people on in 2, right? Like, didn't I write that there was like...
Yeah, I think it's 2 people. I think originally it was 3, so if you want to do like classic beta version.
It's 2 per level, right?
Ooh, 2 per level.
I think it's 4.
2 equally skilled and armed
You know what?
opponents
I
per
think it's
level.
like 16 per level.
Sounds
Well,
right.
It's 2 per level, and what level are you?
I'm level 4.
There you go. So you're fine anyway, because there's 7 people, and you could take on 8, no problem. So then you use your move to get advantage over them as well, right?
Sure.
Cool.
Well, I was
Okay.
also thinking because like they have guns presumably, and I don't think I'm carrying any weapons because I was on Team Moist.
Right. Well, I think you could take a gun with you underwater, right?
I mean, I don't have any guns. Is the other thing.
You
Wow.
always
I'm sure
have your
I'm sure they
sword,
would give you
surely.
one if you wanted one, right? They're like, let's go take on the corporation. I hope you have a Swiss Army knife.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I'll roll with advantage.
Cool.
How am I feeling? Like, what is business like?
What is business like?
Like, where would that fall on the feeling wheel?
Oh, like professional. I don't know, powerful maybe.
Sure.
I think it would definitely be a subjective thing for your character.
Yeah. I think powerful feels all right. Let me mark that I used one of those class slots. I'm rolling with advantage.
Yeah,
Right.
and then stakes will say, I'll just put like a D4 of damage up. Does that sound safe? Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I will say not to shoot myself in the foot.
Mhm.
But the rules do say like if you take on more individuals, you scale the stakes for yourself. So I don't know if I'm taking on a bunch of people, like maybe
8 bullets to the foot.
not the skinny feet.
We'll say the same as a primary weapon. So we'll say maybe they get a shot in. So it inflicts best of 2d4 if you do a mid or a fail. Does that sound good?
Yeah. All right.
Oof.
3 ones.
That's pretty not the best right there. That's a. Do you have a move that lets you re-roll or anything beside that? Nice.
Flashback, I was there the whole time.
I don't know about that
No,
one. Okay, so
Sorry,
first of all, roll 2d4. That's just 3, no matter what, anyway. So you take 3 harm. And so what were you hoping this scene to look like? And then let's turn it into a bad direction for you.
Well, first I'm gonna roll, see if my armor is damaged. It is not. So I take 2 harm. But I was imagining like it was basically Iota like just sort of popping up behind each of these guards, and just like whap on the neck or like the base of the skull. I don't know if that kills people. I'm just trying to knock them out. Like Alex doesn't know if that kills people. And then like quickly piling them onto this little like motorized cart ATV kind of thing, and then like gathering up our friends and just sort of driving out of here.
Okay, so I think what happens is you like pop up behind a couple of them, but I think one, like the one savvy guard that is in this place, right? Like their leader or something like that is tracking, of course, because it's like a corporation. They're like tracking their little minions here as they're organizing and telling them where to shoot and all that kind of stuff. And they notice like 3 of them like drop off their little radar thing, right? Like it's like blip, blip, blip. And then so they look to see what's happening, and they see you, like cracking them on the head or whatever, knocking out a guy, and then they take like a targeted shot at you. Like the camera moves to the sights of their gun as they look at you, and then they take a shot, and I think you take like it's only 2 harm, right? So I don't know, like maybe it hits your thigh or just like clips your side or something like that, right? And so what I'm wondering during this is, are you like also telling everybody to just like get out, right? Like, are you or you're like, hey, I'm going to help these people, and it would be nice if you helped me, or you're like, just get out, I have to do this thing. Like, are you dieharding it or what?
I don't feel like it's like a I do think I am telling people to like, clear the blast zone. Not like yelling at them, but just being like, all right, time to pack it up here.
Okay.
Move out.
Interesting.
So I think Autumn himself kind of pops up out of nowhere because we don't really know where he's been.
Yeah.
And I pick up the cat and I hand it to Trella. Take care of my cat, because I'm not leaving this place without you, Iota.
And also, I guess you're not going to help because you're taking care of the cat.
Did you say that to Iota or to me?
You take the cat. I hang out with Iota.
Okay, I get you.
Because we go way back. We've established off camera.
Right.
Yeah, like I like the scene though where like whoever wants to help pops up and is like, like Iota's like, clear the back blast radius, like get out of here and all this stuff, and then you guys are like, not without you. That kind of stuff. I mean, I'm down with that.
I'm smoking by the gate with my like fucked up arm, waiting for everyone.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so do people want to? Well, it sounds like at least Autumn is gonna pop up and help Iota. Are you helping by like dragging Iota back and be like, we can't help them now and take them out, or are you there to like try to help take out these guards and stuff?
Yeah, I'll help take out. I'm helping Iota with whatever their goal is. So if it's convincing them to get dragged away, or going through with their goal, I'm down for it.
Cool. Does anyone else pop up? Does anyone else want in the scene?
I think Trella's just so on board with fighting corporations and basically punching Nazis, but she doesn't know. She's never done that before. She's just like, aren't these the bad guys? What? Like getting ready to run away. Like, what are you doing? She hasn't learned, how a team really operates.
Cool. Does anyone else want in this scene attacking the guards?
I can like help if we need help, but I don't need to be in the scene.
Yeah, well, so there was 3 people taken out from 7, right? So there's 4 people left. Autumn,
Yeah.
so
sounds like numbers are good.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Like.
Can I still like? Does it matter where I am right now? I can just be there.
No, yeah, you guys can just be like, rallying in there to help and shoot and stuff. Cool. Only one person's allowed to help per role, but more people there definitely is a helpful thing in this moment. But I like Autumn, I kind of like the idea of, do you think you like pop up in the sights? Like we saw the sights shoot at Iota, and then do we see like suddenly Autumn there in the sights and you like take them out or something?
Yeah, I think it's like maybe you see some of these like the muzzle flare or whatever from these guns, right? And then like they see like these 2 like yellow cat eyes, and they're like, wait, what's that? And then like my full human form emerges out, and like Batman's at him,
Awesome. I love this. Cool. So the goal is to kill them or take them out, like knock them out or death. What is it?
I mean, I'm better at death, I think. But what's your plan, Iota?
As I said in the chat, I was trying to help them because they hadn't hurt any of us, but now they've shot me. So let's fuck them up.
All right.
Seems reasonable. So okay, so you're gonna kill this guy. I think the natural thing that might happen is the same thing. He might get a shot off, right? Well, as he's like freaking out and getting Batmaned.
Mhm.
Is anyone helping you with this role?
Kira, didn't you say you're running in there?
Yeah, should I help or should I make a separate roll though?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Do you want to help me, or do you want to take out your own dude?
I want to help with the numbers. We need to call these people, right? So I'll roll separate.
Michael, are you fighting with Iota then? Is Iota maybe supporting you, like, get them out?
Mm,
Or I didn't know who was where. I thought you were like running into Joe.
I imagined this person sort of like up and
okay.
aiming at Iota and shooting from afar, and then Autumn like Batmaning them.
Cool.
dig it.
Cool. Okay, so how are you feeling about this? Are you angry that your compatriot was shot?
Yes. What the heck?
Cool.
And I'm going to use a class skill to do more harm because I'm an ace or slot. But I don't think I get advantage necessarily.
No. 10. There you go. So
sweet.
Roll your damage.
Okay, so for my weapons, I went with like razor nails, kind of like Molly Millions, little cybernetic implanted talon bits.
Okay.
So I figured there's like a light weapon.
And then you're doing like double damage?
Yeah, well, so how does that work with the class slot? Do you just add one more on top of whatever you roll? If it's just +1 harm?
You're an 8.
I think. Or is it double?
Isn't it wild that Fraser wrote this game?
I write a lot of games, okay? To double the amount of harm you deal to a target. So
okay.
I think don't even worry about it. I think they're definitely dead.
Okay, I was just like, I'll just roll whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what does it look like? How do you take this person
out? Yeah, I think it's like just a real like gruesome like claws at the throat from behind sort of thing, and and however much blood is appropriate for the rating of this anime,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's hard to tell because I mean, people are floating in the river, but other things are happening. Who knows?
Right. So you might see like the steel glinting shink type thing, and then like see the body like topple over this balcony that he was like aiming from and splash in the water.
Awesome, love it. Okay, and then Sky, how are you taking out one of these 3 left individuals?
Well, I can take out 3, no problem.
That's good.
I would like to say that maybe when sorry, just still getting names. When Autumn handed Duchess to me and then ran in, I was like, "What are you doing?" But then I see Sky come in, and Sky's like, I look up to Sky, and I'm like, "Oh, I guess this is what it means to be a punk, right?" And I like put Duchess down and tell her to wait, and then I just like run and like jump down to the next level, and I pull my. I have this like rig on all around my chest with all my, or like it's kind of like a backpack, but I can swing parts around for all my music bits. And I pull out my keyboard, and then I like it has like a handle, and I like whoosh, and I like flick it out, and now it's like a keyboard sword, and it's like micro thin basically. So
that's pretty cool.
And now this is all to you, Kira, but I just wanted to I wanted to learn a lesson right now.
No, you should go because you just described all of your actions.
No, I didn't want to do that though. I'm taking up so much space. I want to like follow in behind you. So like, if you need the help, I'm there.
Cool. So what is Sky doing?
Sky, I guess is like, what the hell is that kid doing? And like runs and like uses I can't remember your character's name, just said it.
Trella?
Yeah, Trella. Sorry, I don't know why I can't keep character names straight tonight. Uses like Trella like running through and like making all this noise as like a distraction, and like chameleons along the wall, and then like sneaks right up to the dude's or people, I don't know what their genders are, of these security people who sold their souls. And so that they can Sky can place their keytar gun right under someone's chin, and then pop out from the wall, and I don't know. The goal is to shoot 2 people. I'm sneaky enough to get the first one off, and then the next one's gotta just be luck, I guess.
Cool. Okay. So taking on 2 people, I'll put the same harm on then 2d4, best of 2d4 if you get a mixed or fail result. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Do I have to roll something weird?
No, just a normal roll.
Oh, okay.
Just based on how you feel. And then, so is Trella, you're doing a separate action to take out the last person, or are you leveraging help?
I can do either. I was originally meaning to run in after you. I thought you were running into the fray, but then I remembered you have guns like a normal person and not like a keyboard sword. So I can do either, whatever makes more sense. I think it could be support. Sounds like I'm being a distraction.
No, you can attack this other person, so you can get rid of all of them.
Oh, I guess there's 3 of them. Okay, cool.
You can just change my description. That's totally fine.
No, you're going against 2, and there's still 1 left, so that's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so how is Sky feeling? Iota got shot, right?
Guy's pissed.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. People.
Strike down with right fury.
If I'm synced to my keytar, do I add something?
No, you just have advantage, or you don't take disadvantage on the roll because you're doing something with your object that you're synced to.
Cool.
So you're good.
I'm mad. I do not have any other modifiers.
Wow,
that's an okay roll. Why am I rolling like that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's the opposite of Iota's. Well, not the opposite. That would be a 12, I guess. But anyway, so tell me what it looks like to take out these 2 people.
Well, I suddenly appear out from the wall, catching. I've got my sunglasses on, and I catch the first one right under the chin, and just shoot them in the head, and it's pretty gruesome, and they fall down into the water. Their body hits the water, and then the other one, the second one, sees me and tries to engage in some kind of martial defense, some kind of weird martial arts jujitsu block. But I just take a step back and shoot him right in the torso 10 times, and they just go flying into the water.
Cool.
That's what it looks like.
Boom. I like it. Okay, so Trella, last person. What you're slashing at them with the cool keytar action?
Yeah. This is my first roll. So we're on a concrete sort of walkway sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And okay. Well, I think it's me. I'm pretty small, but I'm really quick. I have this tight bodysuit. I'm just charging down this concrete pathway with my sword kind of behind me. We're anime at this point, right? And I think the person shoots at me a couple times, and I just barely dodge one, and then deflect the other, and we see that my keyboard sword has become like Durasteel or something. And I think that I hit while I'm running, I press a note on my key sword, and then we just a song starts or whatever. It's just my tag that I put in all my beats or whatever. And you just hear sirens, the down down down, and then it's like a classical piano melody. It's just because it's what everyone knows is na 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 or something, and then it's just the song starts or whatever, or it's already been playing and that's interspersed into it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna roll, and I'm just kind of setting my stats now. So I promise I'm not min-maxing, but what I think is happening here is that I am peaceful because it's the first time I've felt belonging and trust with a group, sort of. I'm these people are doing what I want to do, and I'm following them in to do that. So, and I think that is where her 2 is, because that's what she's meant to do. And I think when she gets mad, bad things happen, and that's usually what's going to happen. But right now it's she's kind of figured it out.
Cool.
So, I click roll dice,
Yep.
How do I say which one I'm using?
It should ask you, and then you just select mad.
Or peaceful for this
Or
time, but
peaceful, yeah. So
it just says difficulty. Am I doing it wrong?
it says difficulty.
It just goes straight to the input value.
Let's see.
I haven't filled in all my stats. Is that the problem?
No, you should only need to put in the one that you're dealing with.
Okay.
So let's
Oops.
say roll dice, difficulty, and you just hit normal.
Right, and then it just goes to attribute after. My bad. Here we are. No modifiers, right? Just go for it.
Go for it.
Boom.
9. Cool. Okay, so it's only one guy, right? So I'm going to say this guy has like a light auto pistol and gets you as you're doing your action. So what does it look like? You take out the guy, but you get hit a little bit. That's just 1 damage. So if you have armor, it's nothing.
I haven't bought armor yet, but I think I kind of want to get hurt from this. Just
okay.
Because it'd be cool.
Sure. That's just 1. So
sure. I don't know a really cool thing here. Maybe it's just like when I'm like in this fighting mode, I'm really into the rhythm of whatever's playing, and like the guard, she just does this action that's like really quick and unexpected and like offbeat from what I was expecting, sort of. Like they sort of like read my rhythm, right, or what I was doing, and just like were a step ahead of me in that way, and that like threw me off or whatever. And I guess I get grazed, right? It's a pistol.
Yeah, it's a light auto pistol.
Cool. So yeah, I'm like, I just misstep or whatever. Or they read where I'm going to step and like, act out of my expectation.
Cool. Love it. And then so I wonder, like, as this is happening, do we just get a shot back of like Bina and Omen at the gate and the cat is with Bina or something? or what?
Yeah. The cat's doing that cat thing where like they're on my shoulders. It's very awkward and uncomfortable. But that's what the cat's decided, and I will not argue with the cat.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna look at you, Bina. They're like watching this fight, right? And I'm like, I gotta teach her how to dodge.
You guys are watching the fight? Cool.
I mean, I've been watching all of this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we only have 4 minutes left, so let's abstract it out. How is it that you guys get out? What does the scene look like of you escaping? Is it like a really dramatic thing where the tanks blow and you're all like, or what?
First of all, yes.
Right.
I want Duchess to save our asses somehow.
Can Duchess drive a boat?
She's got thumbs. I mean,
Yeah.
We just fall into the water into a boat that Duchess is driving.
That would be amazing. I'm down.
So is it they take out the guys and then the boat like does like a fancy like drift thing over and you guys all jump in and then the cat drives you out and then like Omen and Beta just like hop in at the gate and then the tanks blow and the end credits is like a shot of the cat driving, like looking in at the boat, and then in the background, this massive shockwave coming, like blowing up behind you, and the water coming, and then it's just like executive producer. Does that feel good for everybody? Any other details that people want to add?
I just wanna have like when the cat's in the boat picking everyone up, it's just honking. I don't know why, but that's specifically really funny to me.
Oh, you guys are taking a long time, so.
Okay, that's all I got.
Cool. And that's said. So, let's see. Experience.
And unless we're going to hear it in a later episode, then I think like a song plays that has like mashups of like all the stuff we recorded and like some of the sounds that from the session today. So that's like the credit song for this particular mission.
Cool. Sounds good. And y'all can take an extra 1,000 XP for this. And if that levels you up, then level up.
Wait, it was 1,000?
1,000 XP.
Okay.
Is that money too?
No, because you don't get your the word that means the thing that you get every day.
Carpe diem.
The per diem.
Our carpe diems.
Yeah, you don't
Our
get your
carpe dimes.
No carpe diem for you.
Where do we track this stuff?
That's a
just
good question.
Just in the gear or something until we have a sheet that is is suited to our needs. But
So
yeah,
we had
it is
3,800.
What?
We had 3,800 already.
So you had 3,800 XP and money for the new folks, and then you got 1,000 more
XP, but
or
not
actually,
money.
well, we'll say 1,200 to bring you guys up to level 3 then.
Score.
Yeah, so everyone takes 1,200 XP. I like the battle of the songs happening here. Oh, this isn't a song at all.
You're right, Kira. Everyone else is.
What if the cat was singing? Let the bodies in the floor.
Wow.
Whoa.
The parrot is like so awesome. Is it a parrot? It's a parrot, right?
It's a parrot. Yes, it is a parrot singing "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
Yeah. I'll put that in the YouTube if I.
That is so weird.
Can you put it in the Hangouts chat so I can put it in the YouTube video as well?
Is it not in the Hangouts chat?
Or like where we talk after.
Oh,
this is
yes,
done.
there. Yes,
yeah.
The very first scream, I just cracked down.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Sorry.
Okay, so 1,200 XP instead of 1,000, and if that levels you up, then level it up, and then we'll stop the recording. After this, we will be going to New Orleans, which is pretty cool. I read up on it, and it's neat.